So today we are going to discuss this code forces problem named as Gangsta. It is 1900 rated question on code forces. So this question is a very good question, I would say, because I couldn't come up with a solution when I first saw this question, and I was kind of stuck. But when I spent some time on this question and when I wrote many mathematical equations, then I came to a solution. So this problem involves some mathematics. So let's read the question. You are given a binary string s of length n. A string s is called binary if it consists only of zeros and ones. For a string p, we define the function f of p as the maximum number of occurrences of any character in the string p. For example, here the value of this function for this string is 3. Why? Because the number of zeros in the string is s 3 and the number of ones is 2. So the value is 3 because 3 is the maximum. So you need to find the sum of all the values of the function for all the substring of the string s. Basically it is written here for all the pair of L and R we have to find the sum of value of this function. So each test case contain multiple test cases. P goes to 10 to the power 4 and n goes to 2 into 10 to the power 5, and sum of n across all test cases does not exceed 2 into 10 to the power 5. So it means that we can go up to n log n only, because we cannot go n square, it would give TLE. And because if we could have gone n square, then this problem will be so easy because writing this brute force was pretty simple stuff. But what makes this problem tough and clever, I would say, because the optimization is really good. So first, when you will see this question, yeah, you have to think in terms of math. So this is a identity that you should know. It is a pretty simple identity, but this helps a lot. So basically, max of any number a and b is equal to this. It is a very pretty simple thing. If you will observe, let's assume a is greater than b, then here the absolute value will open as it is a minus b, and b will get cancelled and we will get a. And if b is greater, then this absolute value will open as b minus a, so a will get cancelled and we will get b. So basically this RHS is equal to LHS. So for this particular problem, what happens here is we have to find this. We have to find basically C0 and C1 are the respective count of 0 and 1 in a substring of S. So we have to find the sum of this value for all the substring of the string S. So I can write this like this. So So here what you can see, for a substring C0 and C1, the sum of these two will be equal to the length of the substring. Why? Because the string is a binary string. So it can only contain 0 and 1. So all the substring will also be binary. So if a string contains only 0 and 1, and I will sum all the zeros and 1 present in it, so it will be equal to its length. So this converts to this. So if you would see this length, so this is the length of a substring, and I can calculate the sum of length of all the substring of a string S very easily. So that is not our problem. I can calculate it separately, and at the last I will add it to the answer. So our problems now come to this, how to calculate this part. For each substring, I have to calculate the absolute value of the difference of C0 minus C1. So how to calculate it? So first thing is that we know we have to find the count of 0 and count of 1 in a particular substring. So it is obvious that in these kind of question, I would use prefix sum because it is a common idea to find out this kind of things. If you have solved a lot of questions, you will get it immediately that this involves prefix sum somehow. So I get the idea from there to use prefix sum, and I use prefix sum to calculate this value. I basically used this kind of prefix sum so that P of I will be equal to the count of 0 minus count of 1 up to the index I. So this value is the value of the prefix sum that I made. Now what I want the value from L to R, and what I want is this. We want EBS of this. But in the prefix sum, I have stored C0 minus C1. So the clever part is this. If I will iterate on the string basically or this my prefix sum vector, and for a index I would want that E of R is at the current index only, and for all E of L I can remove the contribution of this by doing P of R minus P of L, right? I can do this. So what is the interesting stuff is here that I have for a particular index I have to take its contribution for every other index. So basically here our order will not matter. So what can I do is that I can calculate this P of I for every index, then I can sort the prefix sum vector so that I will get a sorted vector, and on that vector I can basically apply a clever idea that can optimize the n square approach. Otherwise, what you have to do is you have to iterate for a particular index I to all the other i's, and that would be n square. So but the clever idea is here the order doesn't matter because for a particular I you want it contribution from every other I, right? So what I will do is I will sort that value. So the values will be like the points on number line. And now what I want? Now I want that for a particular point A, I want the distance of this point A from all the point on the left side of it and all the point on the right side of it. And it can be calculated very easily. I will show you that in my code. So what is I have just taken the input here and I have made the vector, and basically here I am making the prefix sum vector. A is my prefix sum vector. Initially I have pushed this 0 because to handle the case of those where I would take the whole substring from the beginning. So what I have done is if Si is equal to 0, then I have increased the count of 0. Otherwise, I have increased the count of 1. And I have pushed the value of C0 minus C1. Then I have sort this vector. Then what is this part? Basically, this is the sum of length of all substring of string S. You can also calculate it in n because you know that number for this part you can also run a loop because it is very simple, or it is a very mathematical stuff. You can derive it also. It is very simple. I will leave it to you. Or I would say if you want to find this value using a loop, you can do this that Think how many length 1 substring are present in the string S. So it is very simple. Length 1 substring would be n, then the length 2 substring will be n minus 1. So for a length k, the number of substring of length k present in string S will be n minus k plus 1. So basically you can run a loop from 1 to n and find the value for the this value. You will get the same value. It will be sigma of I can say that, let me write this value. It will become more clear. So what I am saying, that this value will be, this value of temp and this value of answer would be same, because it is simply uh, number of length k substring in a string of length n will be n minus k plus 1. So basically I have multiplied to get the contribution of every length substring. So this value you will get, it is the first part of our answer, that I told you about, this length part. Now for this absolute value part, what I have done is that I have, from this sorted vector, I have used this, because basically for a point A, what will be its contribution? It will get added to all the value, because if you think, if the value is 3 and 5, then what happens is, the distance between them is 5 minus 3 equal to 2, right? Because what I did here, 5 is greater than 3, so I subtracted 3 from 5. So this value, I basically, I would do that. First I would take its contribution from all the points on the left side. As this point is greater than every point on the left side, its contribution can simply be ai into I, because it will be added. So it will be in plus, and this subtraction sign is because I want the contribution of this point with all the other points on the right side also. And for the points on the right side, this value is smaller than them. So this value will get subtracted from them. So the count of values on the right side will be n minus I, and the count of values on the left side will be I. So basically I have added the contribution from left side and subtracted the contribution from right side. So basically I can write it like this. Then I have added this value for each index to my answer, and at last I have returned answer by 2, because this 2 you should not forget, and this is the correct solution. Uh, Thank you for watching. I hope I was able to make you understand the solution well.